Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's WinterhelmGames and we're back with more Twisted Tales. This one now is 3 terrifying night drive horror stories. Stories that you won't believe. So we have 3 of them then, so let's see which one is the creepiest. You can let me know what you think as well. I'll let you know at the end of each story what I think, and then maybe a bit of a conclusion at the end, as the way I normally do. So yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Head over to Twisted Tales, give them some love, and let them know I sent you across. Let's get into it.
It was a few years back when I got this promotion at work. It was a big deal that meant I had to pack up and move cross-country. Now, I'm a night owl, so I figured why not make the drive during the night hours. I was totally unaware that that decision would lead to one of the spookiest experiences of my life. So there I am, cruising down the empty highways, surrounded by nothing but darkness and the tunes coming out of my car radio. The night air is cool, the stars are twinkling above, and everything seems peaceful. That's when I first see her, a young woman standing on the side of the road, her silhouette barely visible in the moonlight. I figure she's just another traveler in need, so I slow down and offer her a ride. She's wearing this old-fashioned dress, like something out of a bygone era. I don't think much of it at first. Maybe she's a history buff or just has a unique style. She hops in, says she's heading my way, and I think, cool, company for the long drive. But as I glance at her in the rearview mirror, I notice something strange. Her eyes are vacant, like there's no soul behind them. I brush it off, thinking maybe she's just tired or lost in thought. We chat a bit, and she tells me about a town she used to live in, one I happened to be passing through. I offer to drop her off there, thinking it might be more convenient for her. But when we reach the town, she vanishes. No trace of her in the car, and the eerie feeling sets in. I shake it off, blaming it on fatigue and the long drive, and continue on my way. Hours pass, and I'm on a deserted stretch of road when I see her again, standing by the side of the highway. This time I'm spooked. How could she have gotten ahead of me? I pull over and she gets in without saying a word. The air in the car becomes heavy, and the familiar silence settles in.
Now, if you're in that situation, you're driving, this happens, why would you want to stop again? I mean, you know it doesn't make sense. Logic, it defies all logic at this point. So, I can't imagine why anyone would want to stop the second time.
I try to make small talk, but she just stares out the window, her expression unreadable. We approach a small town, and I suggest dropping her off there. Again, she disappears as if she was never there. My nerves are on edge, but I keep telling myself it's just my imagination playing tricks. I decide to do some research on my phone at the next rest stop, thinking maybe I'll find some historical connection to the phantom hitchhiker. It doesn't take long for me to stumble upon a chilling story. A young girl who was kidnapped and killed on this very stretch of road years ago. The details match her description, down to the old-fashioned dress. My heart races as I read on. The girl's spirit is said to roam the highway, forever seeking a way home. I'm left with a sinking feeling in my stomach, realizing that I've been giving a ride to a ghost, a lost soul trapped between this world and the next. I decide that if I see her again, I will confront her. And just like clockwork, she appears again, just a few miles down. I pull over and turn to her. "You're not real, are you?" I say, my voice trembling. She looks at me, those vacant eyes holding a hint of sadness. She nods, as if confirming what I already knew. She starts to speak, her voice soft and haunting. She tells me her story, how she was taken from her home, her life cut short by a stranger's cruel actions. She never found her way back, and now she's stuck in this loop, appearing on the highway, hoping someone will help her. I'm torn between fear and compassion. Here's a soul yearning for peace, and I'm the only one who can offer it. She asks again if I can take her to her hometown, the place where it all ended for her. It's a chilling request, but I feel a sense of duty to help her find closure. As we approach her hometown, the atmosphere becomes heavier, the air charged with an otherworldly energy. She gestures for me to stop at the spot where she was taken by the kidnapper. As she steps out of the car, the moonlight casts an ethereal glow around her. She thanks me, her voice fading into the night. I watch as she vanishes, not in the unsettling way she did before, but in a peaceful, ethereal manner. It's like a weight has been lifted, and I'm left sitting there, the echoes of her story lingering in the air. The rest of the drive is eerily calm, the highway no longer haunted by the ghostly hitchhiker. I reach my new home, a mix of relief and sorrow settling in. I can't shake the memory of her vacant eyes, the tragic tale she shared, and the fact that I played a role in helping a lost soul find peace.
Yeah, I still don't know how to stop the second time, though, but yeah, it's a nice ending to that story. Whether that would be seen as whether that's a true one or not, I'm not too sure about, but it's still a good story. Yeah, it just, personally, I would find it hard to believe that someone would want to go back into that situation to confront what they now know is a ghost. But everyone's different, I suppose. You know, it's possible. I'm sure there are people out there who'd be quite intrigued to see what would happen. But anyway, there we are. You can let me know what you think on that one. So let's go into number 2.
About 8 months ago, I was cruising through the deserted highways in the dead of night, just me and the open road, when I had this ultra-strange experience. It all started on a moonless night, the kind where the darkness wraps around you like a thick blanket. I'm trucking through the middle of nowhere, miles of open road stretching out in front of me. The only company I've got is the hum of the engine and the occasional howl of the wind. Out of nowhere, I notice another truck on the road behind me. Now, that's not unusual. We truckers are a tight-knit community, passing each other on the highways like ships in the night. But there's something off about this one. Its headlights are dim, almost like they're flickering, and I can't make out any details on the rig itself. I figure it's just an old truck with some faulty lights, but as I speed up, trying to put some distance between us, it matches my pace. Every turn, every twist in the road, it's right there behind me, like a shadow that won't let go. I start to get a little uneasy, but hey, it's a big highway, and maybe it's just coincidence. I decide to pull into a rest area, hoping the mysterious truck will keep on trucking past me. But as I park, I see it in my side mirrors, pulling in behind me, its dim headlights casting long, creepy shadows. I tell myself it's just a fellow trucker looking for a break, but there's something about the silence that hangs heavy in the air. No engine rumble, no footsteps, just stillness, like time itself has hit the brakes. I decide to play it cool, grab a snack from the truck stop and hope the weird truck moves on. But every time I look out the window, there it is, like a specter in the night, just waiting. I try to shake off the unease, telling myself I'm being paranoid. Maybe it's just a trucker with a broken GPS, stuck in the same loop as me. But as I hit the road again, that eerie truck matches my speed once more, its headlights flickering like ghostly lanterns. I'm starting to feel like I'm in some kind of alternate reality. I push my rig to the limit, speeding through the night, hoping to outrun this phantom truck. But no matter how fast I go, it's right there, tailing me like a ghostly hitchhiker. I decide to take a detour, thinking maybe I can lose it on the back roads. But as I wind through the twists and turns, the phantom truck stays right on my tail, its presence casting a shadow over the moonlit highway. I glance at the clock. It's past midnight now, and I'm starting to question my own sanity. Maybe I've been on the road too long. Maybe the lack of sleep is playing tricks on my mind. But there's something about the way that truck keeps showing up, like it's got a mind of its own. I pull into another truck stop, hoping to find some answers or, at the very least, some company. As I park, I see the dim headlights of the mysterious truck pulling in behind me. I've had enough. I need to confront this eerie enigma. I step out of my rig, and that's when I see it. The other truck is identical to mine. Same make, same model, same paint job. It's like staring into a twisted mirror, a doppelganger haunting the midnight highway. I approach the other truck cautiously, half expecting it to vanish into thin air. But it's there, solid and real, its engine silent, its driver's cabin and impenetrable darkness. I knock on the door, hoping to get some answers from the driver. The door creaks open slowly and there's no one inside. It's like the truck is driving itself, a ghostly vessel on the highway of the damned. I check my own truck, thinking maybe I've stumbled into some bizarre alternate reality, but everything seems normal. My belongings, my logbook, all exactly where they should be. It's the other truck that's out of place, like a glitch in the Matrix. I decide to get back on the road, hoping to leave this eerie encounter behind. But as I merge onto the highway, the other truck is right there beside me, its dim headlights casting a haunting glow. I'm officially freaked out now, my nerves on edge, my mind racing with thoughts of the supernatural. I try to radio for help, but there's nothing but static on the airwaves. It's like the midnight highway has swallowed me whole, leaving me at the mercy of this spectral stalker. I push my rig to its limits once more, driving through the night like a madman. The other truck keeps pace, its flickering headlights a constant reminder of the surreal nightmare I've stumbled into. As the first light of dawn breaks on the horizon, I see the other truck slowly fading away, like it was never really there. I'm left alone on the empty highway, my heart pounding, my mind reeling from the bizarre night I've just lived through. I pull into the nearest truck stop, hoping to find some answers, or at the very least some coffee to shake off the surreal feeling that lingers in the air. The truck stop is bustling with activity, and I try to blend in, to convince myself that what I've experienced was just a trick of the mind. But as I share my story with fellow truckers, I see a knowing look in their eyes. Some nod in understanding, recounting their own tales of the phantom truck that haunts the midnight highways. It seems I'm not the first, nor will I be the last, to cross paths with this eerie enigma. Thankfully, I haven't had this experience again since. I am definitely hoping not to anytime soon. So, my fellow road warriors, beware of the shadows that lurk on the midnight highway, for you may find yourself in the company of a ghostly traveler. Keep your eyes on the road, and may your journeys be free of mysterious trucker doppelgangers and the haunting echoes of the highway shadows.
Yeah, I mean, I've never came across that, but I don't drive trucks, obviously, but even in general. But you would wonder if it was just tricks of the mind, I suppose. But you start hearing stories with other drivers not there, then that's when you start thinking more to it. But that was quite an interesting one. So let's get into number 3.
I'm a broke college student, trying to make ends meet by working as an Uber driver on the graveyard shift. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills, or at least helps with the ramen noodle fund. One night, I pick up a fare in the heart of the city. He's standing under a flickering streetlight, looking a bit worse for wear. I figure he's just another tired commuter, or maybe someone coming home from a late shift. But as he climbs into the back seat, I get this weird vibe, like something's off. I greet him with my usual friendly spiel, asking him how his night's been and all that jazz. But he just nods, doesn't say a word. His face is pale, like he's seen a ghost or something, and there's this eerie silence that settles in the car like a thick fog. I try to shake off the unease and focus on the road, but I can feel his eyes on me, boring into the back of my head. It's like he's staring right through me, seeing something I can't. I crank up the radio, hoping some tunes will break the tension, but even the music feels hollow, like it's echoing in an empty room. We're driving along this deserted stretch of road, the streetlights flickering like dying fireflies, when he finally speaks up. His voice is soft, barely a whisper, but it is creepy. "Can you take me to Greenwood Cemetery?" he asks, and I almost swerve off the road. Now, I've had some weird requests in my time as an Uber driver, but this one takes the cake. I glance at him in the rearview mirror, trying to gauge if he's serious or just messing with me. But his expression is dead serious, no hint of a joke or a smirk. I try to play it cool, telling him I'll drop him off wherever he wants, but the whole situation gives me the heebie-jeebies. We pull up to the cemetery gates, and he tells me to wait. I watch as he disappears into the darkness, the shadows swallowing him whole. I'm left sitting there, feeling like I've just stepped into an episode of The Twilight Zone. I check my phone, trying to distract myself from the creeping sense of dread that settled in my gut. But as I glance up, I see him again, standing at the edge of the cemetery, watching me with those piercing eyes. I don't know what possesses me to get out of the car and follow him, but before I know it, I'm stepping into the graveyard, the cold night air wrapping around me like a funeral shroud. I call out to him, but he doesn't respond, just keeps walking deeper into the darkness. I follow him through rows of weathered tombstones, the moon casting eerie shadows on the ground. It feels like I've stepped into another world, one where the living and the dead mingle in the shadows. Finally, he stops in front of a freshly dug grave, the earth still raw and exposed. He kneels down, and I can see tears glistening in his eyes. It's then that I realize he's not just some creepy passenger. He's mourning, grieving for someone he's lost. I approach him cautiously, not sure what to say or do. But as I get closer, I see something that makes my blood run cold. The name on the gravestone. It's his. He's staring at his own final resting place, a ghost in more ways than one.
Get chills.
He turns to me, his eyes haunted, and tells me his story. He died earlier that week, a victim of a hit-and-run accident, his body left broken and alone on the side of the road. He tells me how he wandered the streets, lost and confused, until he stumbled upon my car. I'm speechless, not sure how to process what I'm hearing. But as he speaks, I can feel his pain, his longing for closure, for peace. He asks me to do him one last favor, to take him home, to the place where he can finally rest in peace. I nod, my heart heavy with sorrow, and we make our way back to the car. The drive is silent,
How could you be?
but there's a sense of understanding between us, a shared bond forged in the darkness of the night. We pull up to his old apartment building, and he thanks me with a nod before disappearing into the night. I watch him go, feeling a strange mix of sadness and relief wash over me. As I drive away, I can't help but to feel that I've just witnessed something beyond explanation, something that defies logic and reason. To all those driving the night shift, beware of the passengers who linger in the shadows, for they may be more than they appear. And remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that blur the line between the living and the dead, between reality and the unknown.
That was a creepy one. I mean, what I was going to say there is can't realize how anyone could be that calm, realizing what was going on and bringing him back to the car. But that one I think was the best one, number 3. That was quite good. Then probably the first one would have been second, and then the second one probably just hitting third place there, but still very, very good. Very good stories there. So yeah, head over to Twisted Tales, give them some love, and let them know I sent you across. In the meantime, take care guys, check out the other videos and other reactions on the channel, like and subscribe if you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.